nobody's able to give him the advice that he needs to hear in those moments that feels like they actually understand where he's at and where he's coming from. And I think that's part of the turmoil, the inner turmoil that's going on with him, where he just feels like nobody understands him.
Adrien, Quincy, this show, I've been anticipating season 2 for so long. I love season 1. I couldn't wait for season 2. The show is phenomenal and lives up to the hype. You guys do such a tremendous job at playing Magic Johnson and Pat Riley. And Quincy, first question for you. Talk to me a little bit about Magic's struggle this season, emotionally and physically.
It's a lot, man. He gets hurt right off the bat. You find out he has a baby out of wedlock, and it's not Cookie's. Cookie's not calling him back because he's having this baby. He has to go back home because he got it. Hey, it's so much going on in just the first episode where it's like, dude, he can't catch a break, right? And I think that just sets up the tone for the season for his character and just where he's going. He's never, and I'm actually realizing it now. Magic is never comfortable in season 2.
Yes, great point.
It's so interesting. I feel like in season 1, he was uncomfortable here and there, but it always felt like you could see a way that he could get to comfort. In this one, I'm like, I don't know if we see that as much. So that was just, for me, that was fun, just to be able to not know, and really play with that thought of the unknown and am I going to be good after hurting my knee? Will he come back? I mean, we know, obviously he goes on and win 4 more championships, but in that moment, he thinks his career is over. And you got to be authentic to that. And especially with a baby on the way. So it's a lot of factors that's playing around. And I'm just, I'm glad that I was able to just get that much to do this season and to play it so differently than season 1.
Now, Quincy, you make a great point, actually, because I know that Magic goes on to win more championships. But the thing is, when I'm watching this show, there is still that era of oh, what if he doesn't win this? What if I'm just so, into the show. Adrien, phenomenal job as Pat Riley. We get glimpses of this Pat Riley a little bit in season 1. But we really see him transform this season. Can you talk to me about that transformation and the relationship we see play out between him and Paul Westhead?
First of all, it's very exciting to get to step into, I guess, to represent the Pat Riley that we all know and a man who I have such admiration for and continue to. And obviously the storytelling of season 1 wouldn't get to that place. So we this was really very exciting for me and very meaningful to, I guess, honor him. Season 2. But yeah, I mean, they're all coming off hot off the win at the end of season 1. And Westhead and Riley had a great friendship and Riley was a loyal soldier to him. He had his own ideas of how the team should probably be coached, but he really deferred to his head coach and his friend. And as this rift began to, obviously Westhead had a kind of a vision for how the team should work and a structure and methodology that clashed with Magic and the rest of the players. And I think Riley saw all of that coming and really believed in Magic and had not only some empathy for him through his struggles, but he could relate to as a former player. And that bond, saves them all essentially, and then when Riley finds himself in a position to finally man up and have to be more vocal about how things go and effectively become the head coach of the team, there's tremendous pressure on him to do so. And it's very exciting. All the stakes are very high. So it was a really exciting turn for me this year.
One of the major themes this season, and this question's for both of you, one of the major themes this season is the theme of fatherhood. Not only does Magic deal with it with a child out of wedlock, but with his own father and even his father figure in Jerry Buss. And we see Pat Riley kind of get that flashback too with his relationship with his father. Can you guys both speak to the themes of fatherhood we see this season? We'll start with you, Quincy.
Yeah, man, it's huge. And I know, like for me, like in watching Magic, that just having a kid at that age and then having a kid at that age when you're in a position where your dad can't really give you advice anymore, right? Where like he can give you the advice, but you're operating on such a different level that he can't even comprehend the things that you might be going through. And then you also have friction with this surrogate father figure in Jerry Buss because he's not giving you he's not paying as much attention to you anymore. He's not giving you the things that you're asking for, that you're desiring. And I think with Magic, the word that keeps coming up for him is petulant. And I had to look that up at the beginning of this season. And I'm just like, oh, okay. He reverts back to being a kid sometimes because of that nature of being feeling somewhat fatherless, right? Even though he has a great family and like his mom, his dad, and even a surrogate father, but nobody's able to give him the advice that he needs to hear in those moments that feels like they actually understand where he's at and where he's coming from. And I think that's part of the turmoil, the inner turmoil that's going on with him, where he just feels like nobody understands him. And how am I supposed to be a father to somebody when I don't even understand myself?
What Quincy's saying is really true. It's like, I mean, I think as we are, when we're children, we look up to our parents in a way that is godlike. They're infallible, and part of growing up and becoming an adult is an understanding that everyone, our parents included, are human beings and full of all kinds of complexity and had many failures in life, as we all have. And sometimes they're greater than and are not fully overcome, and they shape the parental figure. And that in turn shapes their behavior towards us, their outlook of the world, and towards life in general. And their success or failures somehow we internalize. And there's a lot of that going on for Riley in the story. And his father was, someone with great potential and a player and in management as well, in the sports and but didn't quite fulfill his dreams and ambitions, and it hurt, and it hurt him. And so I think in those moments where inevitably self-doubt comes back that we've got to overcome, you make parallels to those that you've looked up to that haven't quite achieved what they'd wanted to achieve. And so there's a feeling of perhaps that's his destiny as well. And as we all know very well, he's achieved more than anyone could hope in life. And that's an amazing thing. An amazing thing to have in your back pocket, kind of knowing that about someone. It's like, because you don't know what the future holds. And in playing someone with a lot of ups and downs in their life and career, it's an interesting reminder to see that they have made it, even though there are these moments of failure. So you have to believe that there's better things on the horizon.
Phenomenal job on this season. You guys transform and disappear into these roles. I love this show. I'm already anticipating season 3, guys. I love this show. Thank you guys so much for your time. I appreciate it.